Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today, we're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Gemini. That's Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising for the month of January 2025. I will remind you that 2025 is a new vibrational year. It's a new universal year 9. 9 is a year about separating the wheat from the chaff. The 8 year last year was a harvest year. And so we have harvested, we have all of this fruits of our labor that have been harvested. And in the 9 year, it's time to separate what we're going to keep, what is still of value to us, and what we need to let go of. And so there is this sort of energy of a vision for the future while also letting go of things from the past. So a very powerful and potent time. It's a time of healing, and it's a time of wisdom, and it's a time of shining your light. Um, now, when we're going to look at the astrology first. And as we look at the astrology, keep in mind that this is a general reading for Gemini. To get a really specific reading for yourself, you would need to know your chart, and you would need a personal reading. I do offer personal readings. They are either 60 minutes or 90 minutes, and you can get those, you can order those on my website. All readings are done over Zoom, and you get to keep the recording. So you get to hold me to what I say, and you can use it as a guide for further understanding of self. A lot of information comes in through these readings. It's almost like a fire hose of information. Sometimes people are just like, and I know that it's because they're getting overwhelmed with what is being said, and that's why I record it. You have time to sort of pick it apart and look at it in your perspective and see how it does really truly reflect in your life. Okay, so let's jump into the astrology to start. Okay, where are we here? All right. Sorry, I'm a little. Oh, here we go. All right. All right, so we're doing Gemini, right? Let's go to Gemini. Gemini, please. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Very good, very good, very good, very good. And current slide. All right. So, astrological picture for Gemini. Well, one good thing, Gemini, well, a lot of good things, but one specifically good thing is that Mercury is direct. Mercury is direct. It's over its retrograde cycle. Its retrograde cycle began in November and ended in December. And now it spends a lot of time in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius required us to relook at our beliefs, what we believe to be true, and what ended up being true, what ended up not being true. There could have been some upsetment around that during that period, but now and all of that for you, Gemini, happened in your house of relationship. So where there would have been going over what you believed about relationships or what you believed about things in a relationship, whether that be a personal relationship or a business relationship or even a relationship to say a candidate or something like that. So we're always in relationship to something. It's the blessing, I guess, of living in a world that has duality. And of course, Gemini, your sign, is the height of duality. It is the extreme of duality. And so when we have Gemini people doing things and being a big influence in our lives, it often separates things apart in order so that they may come back together again. All right, so Mercury runs through your eighth house, your seventh house, a little bit of time in the seventh, most of the time in the eighth, in the sign of Capricorn. A good time to double check all your sort of financials. We'll have the sun in Capricorn there in the eighth house as well. This is a time to get your taxes together, guys, and any kind of sort of, family issues, getting things settled. Uh, when somebody passes away and they leave you money, getting all that kind of stuff settled. This was a good time for that with Mercury going direct, spending most of its time in that house in Capricorn, the house of practical, pragmatic, and what works and what doesn't work. Then the sun will move into your ninth house. Then that is after the 19th, January 19th, that happens. So after that, your focus will be more on what is legal, what is true, what is right. We do have a new moon in Aquarius. That's actually happening at the end of the month. We start the month really. The first lunation, major lunation, is the full moon in Cancer, which happens on the 13th, and that's connected to this new moon that's happening right at the end of December, the new moon in Capricorn. And so the full moon in Cancer, which is happening on the 13th, will be the harvest of that. Now that new moon is going to be close enough to Mars, which is moving retrograde as we start the year. Um, Starting in your third house in Leo, and then on the 6th of January, moving into your second house. And the second house, Mars in Cancer, can bring up issues of am I financially stable? Issues around finances and stability of finances, and a lot of back and forth with that. And Mars in Cancer can be very self-protective, and so your tendency with this will be to do things that will protect yourself. I don't think that's really necessarily a negative thing. I think it's a good idea, actually. Okay, so I talked about the sun. Venus starts the month in the ninth house, but quickly moves into Pisces, into that 10th house. We have Pisces makes a conjunction to Saturn in the 10th house. I think that happens on the 18th. It's in your house of work, so that might be a new work project that you find yourself involved in, and that is going to be 2 days before the inauguration of the next president, or the the scheduled inauguration. Whether or not it's gonna happen on time is a question, I think. Um, Uranus still in that 12th house of yours. Jupiter moving through the first house, going to be there until I think May or June, or is it July? In the summer, it changes and goes into Cancer, where it spends a year, which is good because Cancer in your house of money will make you will Jupiter in your house of money in Cancer will probably, um, although Jupiter is expansive in Cancer, it will make you expansive in the direction of your own safety and security, I think. And come out of your first house. So that Jupiter in the first house can sometimes cause extra girth around the middle, so to speak. So it'll probably be nice when it leaves, right? The nodes of the moon change. The nodes of the moon are changing in January. They're on the 11th. They move into Pisces, the north node with the south node in Virgo. They have been in Aries, north node, south node, Libra for about 18 plus, 18.6 months, I think. So around 19 months. And now it's going to move into a new set of signs, a new axis. The axis of Aries and Libra is the axis of identity. And the axis of Pisces and Virgo is the axis of healing. So there is healing ahead. Healing ahead. And for you, it's going to be very obvious, the healing, because the healing happens in the most public place on the chart. Plus, we also have the North Node now moving through that 10th house. And so it really is about doing things in a different way, approaching maybe leadership in a different way, approaching being less judgmental about how others see you, and becoming more authentic to what you feel needs, what your dreams are, your ideals are, and how you're going to get there. So, all right, let's see. What else? What else? What else? I think that's all I want to say about the astrology. Oh, new moon in the ninth house, 10 of Aquarius, full moon in the second house. By that Mars, this can be kind of tumultuous. Mars is spending a lot of time now in that second house. It will go direct on February 23rd, but it doesn't really come out of this Mercury retrograde start back, forth, shadow stuff until May. So the first half of the year is definitely sort of really around this Mars retrograde, which for you is happening in the third and the second house. So your second house is your resources and your values, and the third house is your immediate environment. And so with Mars moving backwards and feeling frustrated, we can find frustration in those areas of your chart. So in those areas of your life, excuse me. All right, so I think that's what I want to say about that. So I'm going to be using, for the tarot part of this, I'm going to be using the um, Foundation Tarot. And yeah, Foundation Tarot. Okay, let me make, oh, good. Just want to make sure I'm good here. Yep, yep. Just 1 minute here. I haven't used these in a long time. Okay, gonna have to give them a good shuffle. So what's ahead for Gemini in January 2024? 2025, sorry guys, 2025. I'm actually doing this in 2024, obviously. You're getting it in 2024. But so yeah, so I did I mention this? I might have mentioned this. Like I do each of the signs like without a script. So sometimes I've mentioned things and I forget that I've mentioned things, and then sometimes I haven't mentioned things. So I just want to tell you that I am starting a membership on my channel. I'm really doing it just to help support me in my work. So if you want to become a member, there is like a lower tier that's just sort of helping me out kind of membership. And then there's going to be one higher tier, I think, where I am going to, oh my God, I just made a mess of these cards. Okay, hold on 1 second. I do not know what happened with these cards, so just give me a minute here. Um, oh my God, what did I do? This is so Gemini. They're like all going in the wrong direction. Like literally not like up and down, but like shuffling them the wrong way. Okay, maybe I should be paying attention to what I'm doing here. Yeah, so and the higher one will be I will make available a lot of my older videos on people in politics and stuff. I feel like I need to keep those behind some sort of paywall at this time. But I will also be doing some new stuff and really getting into things where I feel like I can express myself more freely. So that's really what that's about. I feel like we need to be a little bit more protective. I'm not sure about, we have this idea here in America that we can pretty much say anything, which is not necessarily, I think, a bad thing. It's just, you just have to be protective. All right, now that I've fixed my cards, I think, and hopefully I won't mess them up again. All right, Gemini, Gemini, show me Gemini. And for those of you who are wondering what special thing I'm going to offer in January for that second tier is I'm going to be talking about the Mars retrograde cycle, which is definitely influential for at least half the year, and the change of the nodes. So those are the two things. New stuff every 2 weeks. So I'll usually put two new things out every month for that, and that will help to give you a deeper dive into certain astrological things and perhaps political things as they come up. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. What do we have here, Gemini? We have the tower. We have the tower. Starting with the tower. So the tower is an awakening of sorts. It's an awake it's the facade of who people think you are or what you've projected that comes tumbling down. You yourself do not. You actually become more aligned with your spirit in a tower moment. You're asking the question why. And it's time to let go. It's time to let go of the lower self. It's time to let go of the facade of that and allow your spirit to shine forth. spirit to shine forth. It's interesting, I've try not to bring this in, but there are some pretty um, important and uh, significant people in the world that are Geminis that will be having a tower moment. So you're not alone, but you're watching me, so I know that you can do this. Yeah. So the challenge is keeping the faith. The challenge is the star. As things fall down and fall apart, your challenge is to look up, is to meditate, is to not be necessarily become it's like you have to understand it, but it's not about the loss, it's about what gets revealed through the dissolution or the coming down of something that no longer serves your spirit. Let's see what's in the um, underneath it. We have the Four of Wands. So this is something that in a certain sort of way you've prepared for. I don't think like tower moments are never really prepared for. But I think that you've created a foundation that's going to help you to navigate this difficult time. You're not, while you're personally going through this by yourself, you're not by yourself. You have compatriots, you have people on your side, you have people that will help to buoy you in the hardest part of this, and perhaps help you find that light of hope. We have the Seven of Swords in the past. This can be stealing, actually. Honestly, mm, I need to do a reading on the worst Gemini out there, don't I? Something in the past was revealed that was not above board. Now, you could have been the person who did that. You could have been the person who revealed it. Okay, let's see what's in the sky. Four of Coins. This is about um, protecting your money, protecting your resources. Of course, what did I say? What was in the eighth house? I talked about that in the astrology. I can't remember. Isn't that awful? Um, so Spirit is saying protect your resources here. Protect your resources. Make sure they're taken care of in a way. I don't want to say hidden necessarily, but hard to get to. In the immediate future, Eight of Coins. So you're working on a project. So you're diligently working all the same, even with this illumination. Um, it hasn't deterred you from the work that you're doing. So continue that work. How it's seen from the outside. Oh, the Three of Wands. Things coming together in a way. Things coming together. Perhaps it's not your tower moment that the tower can be. It can be a tower moment that you've been sort of waiting to happen, like it was inevitable that it was going to happen. And so you've, in a way, done the work necessary to navigate this time for yourself. Your domestic situation, oh, strength, strength. So you have the strength you need. You'll find the strength in the people that are closest to you, right? Again, there's that feeling that you're being supported through this challenge. Hopes and fears, the Nine of Coins. This is the self-made person, kind of isolated. Perhaps you're hoping for that because you're having a tower moment. Who wouldn't, right? Um, let's see in the sky. Oh, the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, I love, it's interesting. I love this Two of Wands. You might say, well, he's got, or that person's got chopsticks. In order to eat, you need to figure out how to use both those sticks, right? Both those chopsticks. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to eat anything. So you're gonna, it's almost like learning a new skill, I think, and being willing um, to do something new and to learn something new. Let's see what else comes up. The King of Coins. This came up for Taurus in the end too. This is about financial stability or finding somebody who knows how to look, he's in a bunker. Isn't that terrible? Who knows how to manifest or understands money, understands money. Five of Wands, upsetment, melee, inter-office fighting, and addiction. Addiction. This is about addiction to the material world. This can be about greed and avarice. What are you addicted to? What is keeping you from your light? What is keeping you from your light is the question. All right, let's see what's underneath it. The foundation. This is pure potential. This is like an extra card in this deck. It's the foundation. It's the fountain. Did I say foundation? Fountain. So it's the crack in the cosmic egg that brings in the light. So um, this is part of the tower energy. But in the destruction of the tower comes the light, comes the new light. One thing ends and a new begins. And you take your show on the road. Walk like an Egyptian. That's what this reminds me of. Maybe some of you are going to Egypt to walk like an Egyptian. So I would say that I think what this means in a way is you're going to be illuminated to a relationship, I think, that has held you back because of security, um, and that perhaps um, you need to be willing to let go of that in order to really free yourself to try something new. But it's an interesting read. I'm going to pull a oracle card as well. I hope this resonated for you or was helpful. As I said, if this is not resonating, then you can leave it. It may resonate for some folk. I feel it definitely resonates for a certain somebody out there. All right. Okay, here we go. Tree of Life Oracle. All right. I can't get that song out of my head now. Oh, oh, walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. That was my generation, right? I think that was a college song for me. The 26th path, the path of the devil. Again, the devil comes up. And we can see that the devil is manipulating these two people. All right. Manipulating them to dance around, do what I want to do. Who are you? Who is doing this to you? Who is manipulating you? Who is keeping you in the dark? That may be what comes up as an illumination for you. Who is really keeping you in the dark? We like to think that we're responsible for ourselves and or maybe not, maybe that's just me. Some people are always blaming other people, right? It's easy enough to blame other people because then you don't have to take responsibility. But as long as you're blaming other people, you're not truly free, are you? All right, I'm going to pull it up and read. It says truth, illusion, and trust. This path runs between Hod and Tibereth and is the Capricorn in astrology. Uh, one of the three dark nights of the soul paths. It tests you to reveal the nature of your true self. And of course, that's what the tower does. It shows you the nature of your true self. It says Pan is devil-like, but not the creature we call the devil. He dances on the card alongside smaller figures. Are they dancing with him or are they dancing for him? What is the truth of the situation? It says as you walk this path, you are confronted with something that many struggle with yourself. Here you are in all your glory, with all your warts and lumps and bumps, and you've forgotten the glory bit already, haven't you? Realism is needed to understand that you may be focusing on one negative comment or ignoring the 100 positive ones. Not just a modern conundrum, it seems. So this is about not focusing on the loss, the tower moment, but focusing on the gain from that. And being your own authority in your own life in a way. It is a Capricorn card, so that's really what it speaks of. You can no longer blame other people for your problems. You really have to take the responsibility on to yourself. And then you become the person pulling the strings in your own life instead of selling your soul to somebody who says they're going to give you something or get you something that you already had anyway. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Welcome to the new subscribers, and thank you to my tried and true. Thank you for following me all these years. I'm really excited about having a membership. I've really resisted for a long time, but the time is now. And if you want to, you can. You'll still get a lot of information whether you do or not. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again next month for the Taroscopes of February 2025. Until then, you can check me out in the mornings when I walk through the garden or not, now that it's cold. Um, and of course, on Mystic Sisters Live, which usually happens on a Saturday night, 7 to 9, either on my channel or Una's channel, for Moon Shadows, which is going to be happening in a few days as we have the new moon in Capricorn coming up. A very auspicious time, and probably the time I start my channel. Yeah, I mean my membership. All right, guys, take care, everyone. Have a great month, and I'll see you again next month. Namaste.